The Buenos Aires province prison system is the largest in the country. Since the year 1999, the provincial government has implemented policies that have provoked a drastic increase in the prison population. The overcrowding of the prisons was the most evident consequence, and further aggravated the inhumane conditions that exist within the prisons, where torture is a systematic practice. Torture refers not only to physical aggressions, but also to limited access to healthcare, hunger, weather exposure, isolation, constant harassment, threat of violence, frequent cell reassignments, and generally degrading conditions. Between the years 2013 and 2014, the Torture Committee of the Comisión Provincial por la Memoria documented nearly 21,000 cases of torture and mistreatment in prisons throughout Buenos Aires. During this period, 286 people died in prison, 18 in custody, and 132 in psychiatric hospitals. And in only 7 months, 111 people died in supposed confrontations with police. But the judicial branch systematically rejects these complaints. And even when it does investigate, in the majority of the tribunals, the charges are dismissed even when the evidence is undeniably clear. It is through the justice system that this system of cruelty validates and legitimizes itself. This system of true cruelty is the hidden face of the mano dura policies and the consequence of the punitive demagoguery. Since 1999, the government has responded to popular demands for more security with the hardening of punitive laws. The mandatory minimums were increased. Probation and early releases were limited. Access to a public defender or fair trial were also limited, and the police forces were expanded. Police occupation and saturation of the poorest neighborhoods has been another response. There has not been a consistent and effective alternative to mitigate the illegal market for drugs, auto parts, weapons, and human trafficking. This illegal market is what drives crime in all its complexity. The crimes that are pursued are always minor crimes. The judicial system targets the weakest links of the chain of delinquency. The police capture them, and the judges condemn them. This is the policification of justice. These mano dura policies' only accomplishment has been to aggravate the conditions that facilitate the violation of rights in the most vulnerable sectors of our society, such as children, ethnic minorities, and the impoverished youth. For these sectors, there is no promotion or protection of rights, but rather more oppression and imprisonment in conditions no better than those meant for adults. The mano dura policies only fill the prisons with our youth, predominantly poor males, and submit them to a system of cruelty. With the excuse of the national security emergency declared in 2014, the government reopened the inadequate holding cells to be used as detention centers, despite being closed by court order in 2005, for they were considered to be neglectful of basic human rights. Today, there are nearly 40,000 detainees in the province, higher than any time in history. In Argentina, there are 152 detainees for every 100,000 people. In the Buenos Aires province, there are 207 detainees for every 100,000 people. In other words, out of every 470 people, one of them is deprived of their freedom, but more than 60% of them are innocent. This is the system of cruelty. The system of cruelty does not solve the security problems. It worsens them.